With this account of my first day in Melbourne, we're celebrating the 100th episode of Tony City Tastes. I'm happy you've decided to watch this anniversary video and can assure you that it contains some food which is appropriate for the occasion. I was up early to meet Howard for breakfast at Ginger and White on Clarendon Street in South Melbourne, which was where I was based during my stay. While our breakfast was being prepared, I had a great pick-me-up juice made from carrot, orange, apple, and ginger. In a few minutes, the egg dish arrived. Truffled scrambled eggs, with Tasmanian truffles, served in a croissant with parmesan and edible flowers scattered over the lot. After his breakfast coffee, Howard quickly pointed out some of his recommendations for other coffee venues in the neighborhood before going off to work. I didn't get to all of them during my stay, but I was able to try a few. It seemed to me that there must be some kind of local ordinance in Melbourne stipulating that no business or office or other workplace may be located farther than 100 meters from a purveyor of excellent coffee. In any event, it's truly hard to find places which don't take their coffee and their coffee making very seriously. A bit later in the morning, I settled into a table at Giddy Up Espresso Bar for a macchiato, having had tea with breakfast. The baristas were very clear about what their coffee blend recommendation was for my request, although I was still a bit too jet-lagged to recall later what it was precisely, although I do remember how good it was. Along with it, I ordered a slice of date and raisin bread from the pastry display, and it arrived freshly toasted a minute or two later. As I gradually became more alert, I consulted my wallpaper and Lonely Planet guides to get my orientation, and soon thereafter, armed with my Mikey public transport card, I headed off to Federation Square, and from there spent an hour or so wandering around the central business district, only referred to as the CBD by Melburnians. These shots are from the corner of Collins Street and Queen Street, and I very much like the CBD architectural mix between fanciful 19th century buildings and skyscrapers. For lunch, I was back at the South Melbourne Market, where I parked myself at Bamboo for a delicious fried fish salad with curried rice balls, peanuts, shallots, and red nam jim, the sweet and spicy Thai dipping sauce of which there are countless variations. Aided by more coffee afterwards, I resisted the urge to take a nap in the afternoon and got more fresh air before returning to my hotel to fully unpack. Although I was struggling to stay awake fewer than 24 hours after my late evening arrival in Melbourne, I was decidedly hungry and looking forward to dinner by 8 o'clock. Whether the place we went to was called Bellota or Bellota, I never quite figured out, but it has a fantastic salumi selection and a mouth-watering dinner menu. We opted to start with the kingfish carpaccio with harissa, crema fresca, and pickled zucchini. Along with that, we had a glass of Chardonnay from the Curly Flat winery in the Macedon Ranges about an hour north of Melbourne. Before our main arrived, we stepped into the adjoining Prince wine store to select a red. While Howard quickly settled on a 9 Popes GSM, Grenache Shiraz Mourvèdre, from the Barossa Valley and had it spirited off to be opened, I enjoyed the glimpse into the inner sanctum for special dinners for a baker's dozen of no doubt very appreciative guests.
Sorry? I know, sorry, I've got it in my hand already.
Soon we were called back into the restaurant. The kitchen was ready with our main dish, a fabulous duck leg with medjool dates and braised barley. That's under-describing it, actually, but there was no time to ask for more details as the wine was being poured.
That would be a way to go, hey?
There's a bowl that's there as well, which really, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Somewhere?
Just behind my glass is the side dish we also ordered, shaved cabbage with lemon, mint, parmesan, chili, and saba. Saba being a reduction of grape must from central Italy, whose flavor was a very pleasantly noticeable contribution to the cabbage.
I've been hearing about it.
Ooh.
Yeah, the forward being.
Stuff of legends.
Yes.
Yeah. Mysterious. Awesome. Thank you very much.
While my energies by now were truly flagging, it seemed unthinkable to finish my first day in Melbourne by abstaining from dessert. So, even though my appetite appeared to be in sleep mode, I opted for the lightest item on Bellota's dessert menu: 2 perfect little chocolate truffles. Howard graciously let me sample his selection too, the spiced quince tart with vanilla ice cream. My fatigued body may have been unsure what time it was, but my palate knew that it had been very well done by in my first 24 hours in Melbourne.